Hello everyone, Phoenix61 here with your daily dose of World of Warships Legends. We've got a couple of Stomp games here in the Pozharsky, and then I would say probably the third game's a little more competitive, a little more normal, what you'd expect, right? So, but like it's, a lot of times with these games where you just kind of plow through, right? Like they're kind of boring. So you get the win, you maybe have a decent score, but I just don't save a lot of these. So lately I've been saving them, and then we kind of compile them, right? So, but yeah, on the Pozharsky, we are using Andrew the Lip. This was a paid commander from the somewhat recent pirate, whatever you want to call it, themed, update, right? So, and I almost didn't buy him. I didn't even consider it because there was a ship that would pair with him, right? During that, promo or whatever, right? And I wasn't interested in that ship, and so I didn't buy him. And then when I saw the stats for the Pozharsky, I was like, you know what, he would fit well with that. So I did go ahead with the Christmas Cyberpunk update. I went and picked him up as well because I knew I was going to go after collecting enough cyber sense to get this ship, and so he pairs really, really great with it, right? So normally I'm not a fan of going up the middle, especially not in most cruisers. But what happened was, in the beginning of the match, we saw some torps come through the zone, and so I circled back around and I was expecting to find a destroyer halfway up through here, and between, us being a cruiser and having sonar, I was hoping to just be able to kick his butt, right? Just hoping to catch him off guard, right? I didn't see anybody else coming through, but he was playing it smart, right? He saw, in the beginning, there was myself, and then we just barely dodged that torp. Myself and a destroyer that were kind of pointed towards, the butt crack here up the middle. And so I think he was, this Z39, right? I think he was being smart and was just sending torps down the chute here, right? And then staying out of it, right? Which would be the smart thing to do, right? So since we're coming up the middle and now we're by ourselves, we're kind of, we're getting picked on by the carrier, but we do know exactly where the destroyer is, and so once we come around the corner, we're going to be able to spot him, right? We do have to be cautious of torpedoes right now. But we get lucky here. He gets spotted again, and we get the vast majority of our guns on target and get the dev strike there, right? But he had just somewhat recently sent torpedoes through, so he may have still been on reload. But regardless, I was like, all right, we need to either adjust course. I was kind of like, we'll turn into him or run into the island, and then now I'm like, okay, we can back up. Just in case he sent some through the zone, right? So I think we maybe got a little bit lucky there when it comes to just timing of when he had torpedoes available, because we didn't see anything come through. But regardless, I was at least aware that I was being a little risky trying to get rid of him right after we had spotted him like that, right? And so now we're getting picked on by the carrier, which is, to be expected. We're probably the closest ship to him. And then I'm keeping an eye on this battleship off to the side. Part of me was like, I'm going to retreat and go back through, but then, looking at the mini-map, I'm like, you know what, let's poke our nose into the zone, and then use our smoke screen, right? We haven't even used a single smoke screen yet at this point. I know that the carrier is probably still going to try and drop bombs on us, even if we're in the smoke, right? They'll take a guess based on where we were last seen and where the AA, where our anti-air fire looks like it's coming from, right? They'll drop bombs and torps through there, right? But fine, whatever, we're doing okay, right? We've still got some heals left. Now we've got a good shot on this King George here, right? So things are going in our favor, so we can be a little risky at this point, right? So we've lost 2 ships, they've lost 4, so the game's going, we've got the game momentum as well, whereas, if we didn't have that game momentum, we'd probably have ourselves in a bit of a situation here, right? So it's a good example of, what you can push when it's called for, right? When the situation allows it, you can take advantage of the situation, right? Whereas, I think if this was a little bit more competitive off to the start, we probably wouldn't be able to get away with what we're doing here. We're having a little bit of luck dodging and ducking and weaving from the carrier, right? So, yeah. And this ship doesn't particularly have the greatest AA, and so, we're us getting 22 planes shot down is a little ridiculous, but that's fine. I think this ends up, I went back, I don't show it here, but I went back to take a peek at my stats for this ship just since it's so new. I was kind of interested to see what my win ratio was on it and stuff. And like the max amount of planes I've shot down in a game definitely ends up being this game, as I think it ends up being like 40 some, right? Which is just like, for a ship that's not really that great with AA, right? It's great, right? But it's just because we're close to the carrier, and he ends up picking on us quite a bit. So we come out of our hiding place there, and we get spotted, so we know there's probably a cruiser or something over here. Potentially the carrier picked us up and we fired our guns as well. We'll try and hide and smoke again, right? But carrier gets a good hit on us there. I wish we just had some, we've got, the vast majority of the rest of my team, not the vast majority, right? They're all bundled up over by the decap side. So here we're just going to have to be, yeah, there's our clear skies medal. We're just going to have to be a little patient, right? And this is one where, like, we probably could just YOLO push up into A, get rid, let our, go down and start another game and probably still walk away with the win, just because we've got them quite a bit outnumbered, right? But I've also been like, this ship's been really great for credit farming, right? For making silver, so I'm kind of sticking with it too, right? Especially it was like we're getting a lot of planes shot down. He keeps dropping fighters over us, you're right, which is not, not the smart thing to do, right? If you're a carrier player, don't drop your fighters over enemy ships, because they go down crazy fast, right? Like, if you haven't noticed, the fighters go down crazy fast from anti-air fire from ships, so don't put them over ships, right? But yeah, so we'll move away. We're only getting spotted by the planes right now, so we'll kind of bait him into dropping his torps over off to the right a little bit more, and then we can circle back, weave back in and dodge all of that drop. And then here I was like a little torn between, do I, I'm kind of getting low on health, right? My heal's not going to do that much for me, you can see. So I'm like, do I, maybe I go and kind of push out and go for the carrier and let my teammates pick up the slack on this, this last battleship and cruiser that are out here, right? And, I'm probably the only one spotting, classic, blue team situation. So if I drop my smoke, he may end up disappearing anyway. We will see. I think Roma's got his own smoke too. But yeah, so that's why I'm holding off firing here, right? I'm worried about battleship just finishing me off with one more salvo, right? We're angling, but that only does so much, right? Especially if they aim high. Yep, so he's got his rolling smoke, so he's going to use that. So I thought maybe between this island and his rolling smoke, I could get away with firing my guns and not getting picked up, but I think it might be the cruiser around the corner spotting us. Yeah, there's the cruiser, Asuja. We've got a decent shot on him, so we'll take that. And then, yeah, I was getting away with it, so I didn't drop my smoke right away, but we'll put it down now, because now I'm definitely getting picked up by the carrier. And then once we duck into the smoke here, you're gonna see everything's gonna disappear, right? So we're the only one spotting. My team's still hanging around, being a little cautious, maybe too cautious around the corner there. But yeah, we've got the zones, we've got the ships. This is the opportunity to push up, especially if you've got a lot of health, and just try and do as much damage as you can before the game ends, right? Because you probably got this one. So you notice we shot at the Graf Zeppelin and everything bounced, right? We did 0 damage because we hit the deck. So we're aiming lower now, trying to get at the meat and potatoes with our AP bullets here, and we're doing much better. And if we can get a little bit better angle here, we're going to see more penetration, so that's perfect. And let's see if we can pick up the kill here. Yes, we can. And then all that's left is the battleship, but that puts us over the top on points, right? Carrier is always a big point swing. You lose quite a bit of points when your carrier dies, and you gain quite a bit of points when you kill their carrier. But yeah, 3,000 XP easily puts us at the top for that game. We will jump right into game number 2 here. We are on, this map, right? I always forget. I'm like bad at remembering what they're all called, but anyway. I'm going to try and sneak into the zone. We're obviously going to take some hits here. There must be a destroyer that's picking us up. That's probably close to A here. But we managed to get away with sneaking into the zone and then dropping our smoke. And then we'll hold off a little bit on sonar here, right? I'm kind of waiting, thinking like, okay, maybe we wait until we see our zone getting capped to drop sonar, right? To use the sonar, because then that carrier or that destroyer will be closer. And so, yeah, here it is. We are contested now. We'll shoot at this hipper since we've got a good angle on him. There is the destroyer. I'm surprised we didn't get radar. Right, Katsonis has radar, right, doesn't he? But anyway, regardless, we'll pick on him and drop sonar. There's the torps from him. I'm going to kind of back up out of the way here just in case he's sending more, because that's what I would do if I was him. And somebody's keeping him spotted for us, which is great, so we'll take all the shots we can. And we'll pick on Hipper here maybe, since she's still giving us some angle. But yeah, there's a lot of potential out there for ships that can shoot at us. The Constellation's almost dead, though. He pushed up maybe a little too much, so wasn't able to steal that kill. Borodino's coming in with full health here. We've got a decent angle on him, actually. I'm kind of curious to see what kind of damage we can do against him. We'll sit in this allied smoke. It's not going to last much longer. We'll take a couple shots here, and then we'll see if we can't move up and drop our own smoke screen, because that's going to be ready here very, very quickly. And we get a, we get a Citadel hit on that Borodino. I was not expecting that. So yeah, I'm just holding off firing until we can get in the zone. We can see it's still contested now. We've only got 15 seconds or so left on sonar, but that's fine. Like, we're kind of tucked behind the corner here. So I'm expecting that Katsonis, yeah, there, exactly. So here come the torps, right? I'm expecting him to not have the right angle on us to be able to get torps on us. So we made a good call there. We'll farm this Hipper for damage while we can, while he's giving us angle. Right, getting decent, like a few pens, a few overpens. We'll take it. Fast reload, lots of guns. We're going to be able to whittle him down. Yeah, these guys coming in like kind of one at a time, right? First Constellation, yeah, we get Citadel hit there. First Constellation, now the Hipper. And then I think the Borodino ends up coming up too, like same situation. Like, you didn't see what happened to your buddies? Like, you're going to just do the same thing? Right, so yeah, now we are up 4 ships, right? They've lost 4 ships at this point. And then we've got our destroyer here. He, I think he must have finished off the enemy destroyer on this side, right? So I'm going to push up into his smoke screen. We'll use his smoke screen, take advantage of that, while we simultaneously cap this zone. Kind of curious how we got that Citadel hit on Borodino. So we'll do some experimenting here. If somebody can spot him again. Yeah, we should be able to get into this. I think the, what is this? What destroyer was this? I think he's got, it was a British destroyer? Oh yeah, there's still 50 seconds left on his smoke. So we'll be able to use his smoke, and then we'll have our own ready for when we need it. So I'm kind of curious, yeah. So here comes Borodino, just like straight broadside to us and the like half of my team that's on the, the other side of the A cap here. So he shouldn't last long. Plus torpedoes going after him. Now I'm like trying to figure out how the hell I got a Citadel hit on him, but maybe we just can't punch through on the side like this. We're getting pens, right? Like, it's just not... We're like half and half, right? Penetrations and busted shells here. Alright, so he's angling away, so we'll aim high. I think that's probably the Borodino's radar picking us up, but he's not looking at us, and we're pretty well angled to the other enemy ships that are probably in range of shooting at us. So I'm just going to muscle this out. I'm just going to stay in this smoke, wait for that radar to go away. It's fairly short duration, I believe, on those Soviet ships, right, with the longer range. Yep. So there it goes. It's gone. Nobody even took a shot at us, I don't think. See if we can't finish him off. Somebody else doesn't. Yep, somebody else got the kill. So there's our first fisted. Hawks coming in. We still haven't had to drop our own smoke here, and I'll take the shot at the Michelangelo, and we'll drop the smoke since we're just now getting picked up. And Hawk's gonna, if he keeps pushing in, we'll be able to use torps on him. He's gonna give us some angle as well, so we're gonna take full advantage of that. And here's the scenario, right, where like, all right, when this smoke runs out, we can just go YOLO push up if we want, probably. There goes another ship. We're up to 92,000. 98,000. This Michelangelo's got a lot of health. Like, that's not really a ship to hang out in the background like he's doing. Got the, okay, so... We definitely did not do a lot of damage with our one bullet against that Michelangelo. I'm guessing the battleship on our team over there, He was like full health, like, right, I'm guessing the battleship on our team over by C, one of the two of them, right, probably took out most of the damage, and he probably had a tiny bit left, and we just yoinked the kill inadvertently. Not even intentionally, right? All right, over 100k damage. This is the last ship that's left. We will take a quick peek at the leaderboard. We didn't get that kill either. See where we end up, and then I've got one more game, and then I'll go through the full commander build at the end like I normally do as well. But 2700 XP on that one, but right, we just had epic game momentum there, and so it made for a very, very easy game. All right, same map, but we spawned the other side, right? So I fast forward, you know, I skipped ahead a little bit here. We're already at 8,000 damage. I think I got a shot on one of these destroyers that wasn't really, you know, whatever. But for time's sake, right, skipped ahead a little bit. So drop our smoke. We'll be able to shoot this Kansas for a little bit here. Whatever stays spotted for us, right? Getting some bounces on him. Smoke's going to run out, so we'll plan ahead and start moving. Where it looks to be, we're going to be a little bit outnumbered on this side. Just by looking at the minimap, we can see a lot of red ships heading this way. So we're going to have to be a little bit conservative here. And this is one where I was like, you know, this wasn't a stomp game, right? Like, this ended up being a little bit more competitive, a little bit more entertaining, so to speak. But yeah, both enemy destroyers over here, which is fine, right? Like, we're in a cruiser, like we do, this ship's great at taking out destroyers when they get spotted, so that's fine with us. We'll just have to, you know, manage our sonar appropriately for when we suspect torpedoes and stuff like that, so... but yeah, they've got a lot of smoke back there, so we can get away with a little bit of not being spotted for the time being.
Smoke generator start.
I was kind of hoping, like, our destroyer, we've got, you know, everyone's abandoning me now at this point, but I was hoping that the guys moving over towards B would be able to still spot people here for me. Right, so... we are solo over here, and there are at least 4, maybe 5 ships pressing this direction. So we're going to have to be super, super cautious here. We'll play this as smart as we can. We may be far enough out of range. Okay, so we get spotted there, right? So we get picked up within our smoke firing penalty. So we know there's a destroyer moving towards us. So I'm going to start moving away from that. We'll see if we can't kite a little bit here. Kansas, yep, he's looking this way too, so we will try and angle away. Tiger 59, that would be a nice shot for us. I'd prefer to shoot at him, right? A little bit more our speed as far as what our guns can do to who, right? And then yeah, Kansas, you know, he has the potential to really hurt us, right? So we're trying to angle as best we can. We're getting a little bit lucky with dispersion and RNG there, not gonna lie. And then we're getting close to having our smoke back. So is this Z31 that probably picked us up? He is now outside of our like smoke firing penalty range, but we're gonna pick on him while he's spotted here. And then since we've like moved away, right, I'm gonna guess we don't need sonar for the time being, just because we've kind of drastically altered course. And then we'll drop our smoke again, so that's gonna get us unspotted. We've got a great shot on the Tiger 59, so we'll take this as long as it's available. I will focus the destroyer first, though. If he's spotted, we're gonna go for it. 3 more Citadel hits on that Tiger 59, though. Those in-flight bullets. And then yeah, Atlantico got rid of him, so that's awesome. Now we can go back to the Tiger 59. We'll keep using the smoke, right? Playing smart here. These short duration smoke screens, I got to give them more credit than they're worth, right? Because even just ducking away and going unspotted for, you know, the 30 seconds or so that they're out there, right? It kind of diverts people's attention away from you. So then, you know, you can, you know, then you'll get spotted again, right? But then it takes all, you know, especially something like a Kansas with like slow turning and slow turret traverse. He may just like ignore me for a little while. So we'll take advantage here. The other battleship like moved away, right? Like these guys could have pushed up on me and probably gotten rid of me. But yeah, we're down a ship. We're down points a little bit here. My teammates have done a pretty good job over on the ACAP side of just at least at least playing the objective over there, right? I don't know what their health situation's like, but it looks good from the mini-map perspective. We're going to lose the B-hole, that's fine. We've got smoke ready when we need it. We'll be patient here with our guns, since we're not spotted. Okay, Kansas is looking at something else. We'll fire our guns, drop our smoke. This is what I'm saying. We'll get spotted for a few seconds there, and that's fine. I was kind of thinking like that other destroyer was pushing out over here, but we're not getting spotted even with our, you know, in the smoke. So he's at least that far away from us. Getting some bounces there, so we'll aim high on the Kansas, especially if he's going to be moving away. Yeah, I'm curious where that other battleship went, and then I'm curious where, like, Tiger 59 we can handle, right? But, like, curious where that other battleship and destroyer went. But we'll use the rest of our smoke screen to get a little bit more damage on this Kansas. Those are some better hits there. There we go. Those are some decent salvos. Just aiming superstructure, especially at this range. And we're not going to be able to hit him anymore, but did a good chunk there. Up to 80,000 damage for this game thus far. And then yeah, now we're down 2 ships. So, and then down 2 zone, or down, you know, 1 zone. We got 1 zone to their 2, right? So they're beating us on points quite easily now at this point. So I'm like, all right, we're going to need to push up a little bit here. Be a little bit more aggressive. Hopefully, maybe we can distract the enemies that came over here, right? We've gotten largely ignored so far. So we can use a little bit of our health. Still not getting spotted. So very confused where this last destroyer went. Maybe he went and helped cap B. Okay, here we go. Shorenhurst is finally coming up, right? So, like, tons of health, right? So this is that situation where, right, if you're a battleship and you're, like, we're late game now at this point, right? Last 6 minutes, right? And you've got, like, a lot of health and your team is struggling, right? Like, you've got a Kansas here that's been taking the vast majority of the hits from us, right? So he gets a chunk out of us. That's fine. We dropped smoke. But now, yeah, we're going to have to figure out how to deal with this Shorenhurst. At this point, I'm kind of like, all right, let's see if we get rid of this Kansas. I don't know where the other 2 ships went that were over here, right? I'm guessing they went over by B, and they maybe are either coming back or what, right? Like, I'm curious why they haven't been spotted for a while. But I'm going to just pause here for a minute. I'm going to see, there's kind of an island right in front of us, like just off to the left there, that's right between us and that Shorenhurst. So I'm going to see if I can keep that between us and him, and then maybe get our torpedoes on him, right? I think this is like a 5 torpedo launcher, right? Range is kind of short, right? 6 kilometers, so we'll have to deal with that. And then, yeah, just give it a second here when he gets spotted, right? So he kept pushing up, which I was not expecting, right? I was going to use my island plan, right? And so he's looking at the other battleship, and so since he's ignoring us, may not know that we have torpedoes, but they look so good that I'm like, all right, I'm just going to use the guns on the Tiger 59 while these torpedoes just rack this guy. So we get the dev strike there. And then now we can push up into the zone and try and take this thing back. Tiger 59 is not going to last long if he continues to be spotted. Gotta turn a little bit so we don't run into the island, and we can get into the zone. So that quickly put us up to 140,000 damage. Take a couple more shots here, see if we can't yoink the kill. Nope, we can't. Atlantico got him with secondaries. What was the destroyer though? I think it was a split, maybe? So maybe he realized, maybe he just didn't want to take us on. Or a Grom or something, right? I don't remember what it was. I think it was a split. Right, the split's the tier 7. Alright, so we'll cap this zone, and then we'll start heading towards B. Right, we're not spotted anymore, right? So he's got to be on the other side of the map. And then our teammates did a good job on A-cap side of just surviving, right? Like, it's kind of how you have to play it. Right, I would argue that was my job, right? I would have considered us to be on the weak side. We just had, you know, we played it smart and then had a little bit of luck there with that Shorenhurst, and then, you know, we're able to just dominate. But yeah, that's kind of like my strategy, right? If you're on the weak side of the map, right? If you're outnumbered, you know, kite away, go into full defense, and just try and like stay alive as long as you can, whittle people down until your allies on the other side of the map, who are hopefully outnumbering the Reds, can, take that over quicker and then come and start helping you out and getting crossfires and stuff like that. So that's kind of your generic strategy for most games, right? When you notice that strong side, weak side. So we'll keep pushing up towards B here. And then I think we end up running into the destroyer, or he gets spotted for us, and then that basically ends up being the end of the game. So we'll fast forward a little bit once we get to that point here, but we'll go in, do the good, the smart thing. We are up on points now at this point, right? And then we're going to be able to capture all 3 zones. Yeah, and I see torpedoes out there. I was just like super surprised that destroyer didn't at least come for this Atlantico here, right? Like try and torp him, but I get it. Atlantico's got crazy secondaries, so destroyers tend to fear them. All right, and we get spotted here, so we'll call it out. We're out of sonars and smokes, right? So, I wouldn't smoke against the destroyer, but we'll keep pushing up. Since we saw those torpedoes out there, I'm going to guess he's off in this direction that we're turning, right? I'm going to guess he's a little bit north. So we'll turn into it. And then, I don't know if the Atlantico just now got spotted, but he just now called it out, right? So I'm wondering if he's kind of off, ducked behind these land here. But yeah, there's the split. So we'll take our shot at him. That's going to easily finish him off as long as we get a hit. So there he goes, and then we'll cap the zone. And then this cruiser ends up being, I think he ends up, I don't remember if he survives this game or not, but we'll fast forward here and go through the leaderboard, and then I'll do the full commander build for you like I normally do as well. But yeah, there's torpedoes from the split. And then, yep, there we go with the turbo boost on the video. We get a couple of shots on this Rochester, but I think he comes around the island and kind of does a YOLO push at us, right? But yeah, 55 seconds left here. The game is won, right? And I just took guess shots here. This Harbin wanted to probably get torpedoes off, so he's probably, turning around full circle there. But yeah, I didn't have enough time to do any significant damage against that cruiser. So we'll take a peek at the board, and then we'll do the commander build. Yep, so that's our best game yet for the day here with the Pozharsky, right? 3,200 XP. Puts us at the top. And then, yeah, like I said, this is a good, I wasn't even using a credit booster or anything here, and we still made $500,000 in silver there. So, yeah, those tier 6 cruisers, especially if you've got premium time, are kind of where it's at. But aiming system mod 1, propulsion mod, you guys know me, right? Concealment for slot 3. And then we have gunfire control for slot 4. And then Andrew the Lip, right? He is a paid commander from the somewhat recent pirate theme or whatever, right? So he has that base trait that kind of stacks some percent damage. And then for inspirations, we're going all out AP damage and AP multiplier. And then Piercer here for more AP and then Punch Through for more AP multiplier, right? Just you see where it's going and why it works so well, right? And then Fixated for the dispersion and shell grouping. And then, yeah, this is one where I've decided not to use fully packed. He has this hit them hard perk that's, centered around and having an observation seaplane, right? But you don't use it because this ship doesn't have an observation seaplane, right? So I think that was from the pirate themed ship that would have paired with him, but I didn't pick that up, right? I wasn't too interested in that. But yeah, we're using refill station instead of fully packed. You obviously could use fully packed to get an extra heal and an extra sonar. The smoke screens are a plenty, right? You get 5 base for smoke, so that's seemed to be working out. I don't seem to need an extra one of those, but yeah, refill station definitely feels to be a little bit better with this ship versus fully packed, right? So there's been a few ships where I'm starting to lean that direction, right? But thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you're still here, this was a long one today. Appreciate you. Make sure you are following the channel. Please click on my face icon that shows up down in the bottom right. And yeah, we do Legends videos every day, so we will see you guys tomorrow.